to give the people what they want. It's Jalen and Jacoby.
He is Jalen Anthony Rose.
What up, dog?
I am David Dowling Jacoby.
And on the cool check-in.
And we are Jalen and Jacoby at 2 p.m., not 2 a.m. What do we do?
We give the people what they want.
I don't know what the people want, but I want Beyonce to buy the Rockets. Please, Beyonce, buy the Rockets. Now, she'll probably have a teeny tiny little figurehead piece of the Rockets, but there are reports from Bloomberg that she is interested in buying a piece of the Rockets. Does this make you as happy as it makes me?
It does, and I love seeing these stories happen, in particular with minority ownership in professional sports. Basketball and NFL come to mind. Also, for that matter, all professional sports, you don't see Michael Jordan's the only majority owner. And so what ends up happening, as you alluded to it, a lot of times minorities get the opportunity by being minority stakeholders. So we saw this take place with the Cavs and Usher. You saw this with Jay-Z and the Nets. You see this with the Miami Dolphins and a few individuals, I think including the Williams sisters.
Vivek Ranadive comes to mind.
Absolutely. So I would be enthusiastic about this. This would be a great look for the league. This would be a great look for the Carter family. And think about this. He's saying on 444. How about having a billionaire couple when they both have had ownership stakes in NBA teams?
And the only reason he had to drop his, because he's like, you know what, I'm gonna make more money with my agency anyway. You know, and he's like, I don't want to work with this Prokhorov guy anymore. And the Nets aren't good. I'm out. They can go 0-82. Wouldn't bother me. So I was looking at this and I was like, man, I would just love to count Beyonce as one of my bosses. You know what I mean? I would just love to be in an organizational structure in which I reported up to Beyonce Knowles. So it made me think, like, would free agents actually consider this when considering what team to play for? And then it got me thinking, Jalen Rose, like, what do free agents consider when they're going to make a move to a new franchise?
Really simple. Are we talking about professional sports?
Yes, we're talking about professional sports.
Okay, so don't let the ticker fool you. Don't let the headlines mislead you. The first thing players are considering is salary.
Okay.
Show me the money. How much am I going to get paid to run with your squad? The next thing, who I'm going to run with? Teammates.
Okay.
The third thing, who's going to be the coach? Who's going to draw up the X's and O's? The fourth thing, where are we playing? What market's happening? Can I champagne and campaign in the city?
That's what I was getting at. So what?
And
when you tell me what's last.
Unless it's Beyonce, the owner.
So you really think that Beyonce would be the last thing that free agent would consider? They would think about the Houston strip clubs and James Harden's jersey in the rafters and the food and the taxes and all those other things first?
There have been some transcendent owners that got people to come play for their team. Dr. Bus comes to mind. George Steinbrenner comes to mind. That has happened. But when Michael Jordan purchased the Charlotte Bobcats at that time, look back at all of the media pundits and all of the fans. They're like, oh, man, all of the big-time free agents go run with MJ. Not going to be able to do it.
Yeah, and they got Dwight Howard comes to mind. Nicholas Batum, I guess. Yeah, some free agents.
So players consider what's best for them. And you hope to have a really good owner, as you mentioned.
So when you say teammates and coach, that all sort of like boils together to me is how successful is this team going to be? What is my role on this team? And can we win a championship? You put salary first, but for older players like a Chris Paul or a KD, we've seen take a little bit of less money at a chance at a championship. Isn't that fair to say that is sometimes first?
No, that's isolated incident. We just talked about Isaiah Thomas with some slides that had a Brinks truck on them. He already getting $6 million to play basketball.
He shows you where his priorities are with his slides. Yeah.
No question about it. He saw Steph Curry get $34 million to play basketball, and he on the senior tour. He like, I need that. So you have to consider what's best for your pockets, and those are older players who, in KD's case, was chasing a championship, and he joined the Golden State Warriors and formed a super team. And for Chris Paul, he just wanted to not run with the Clippers. That's what I'm seeing. You already said he got a Houston Rockets tattoo on his
Just
neck
right
already.
there. The big Rockets tattoo. You'll see it. You'll see it in the next photo. You look for it.
No doubt.
You mentioned Steph Curry and Steph Curry's paper, and a lot of his paper comes from the Warriors, as you mentioned, got a big raise. He also makes a lot of money endorsing Under Armour. He had a very popular shoe, the Currys. I wear the Steph Curry shoes. They're very comfortable. They're good to play basketball in. Shout to Under Armour for sending me those for free. Next.
What up, though, Stone?
Next, we have this is the Under Armour's stock is starting to plummet a little bit. The latest Steph Currys did not sell as well as expected. So quarterly earnings went down and the stock price has gone down for Under Armour. And a lot of what was said when KD joined the Warriors was there was this Nike versus Under Armour thing going on. How much do you think that the sales of the Steph Curry shoe and the plummeting stock of Under Armour has to do with KD joining the Warriors?
I think it's secular. The only brand that's truly been able to maintain its level of dominance has been Nike, in particular because they have Michael Air Jeffrey Jordan endorsing their shoes for the last 30 years. He's still the guy that's selling more kicks than everybody. So with that being said, Under Armour made a big-time splash with Steph Curry as he bursted onto the scene. But that level of maintenance wasn't going to be able to stay at that level. That's just unrealistic to expect that. Now with KD joining the team, you go from being the unanimous MVP to obviously winning the championship, but your teammate is finals MVP. Ultimately, when you're not looked at as the quote-unquote best player in the game, that also has some level of effect.
I think that has something to do with it, too. I don't think it's the design of the sneaker or the look of the sneaker. I think it has a lot to do with that. If you remember 2 seasons ago, Steph Curry was breaking the three-point record. Unanimous MVP, the best player in the game, the vanguard. We've never seen this before, and that helps sell the shoes. But now he does share somewhat of the spotlight with KD, and I don't think that Nike is too upset about that. Another person that sells a lot of sneakers, LeBron James. Steph Curry was at Harrison Barnes' wedding before he went to the after party and spilled Bud Light all over his shirt. He was very famously caught on Instagram mocking LeBron James's dance while he worked out. Here's what he had to say about that. Quote, "I've been doing that dance because of him at my house at dinner. When something good happens, I pull that out because I like it and it makes me laugh and it makes me happy. Not making fun of him." Jalen Rose, 0 to 100. How much do you believe that Steph Curry was not making fun of LeBron when he did that dance?
He was making fun of him 80%.
Oh, I'm going 100%. He was definitely making fun of him.
And also, I like the way he phrased it. Because he, in theory, I guess he wasn't making fun of him. Making fun of somebody is teasing him. Ha, 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 nah, 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 nah. He was mocking him.
He was. He was like, it makes me happy when I do that dance. It's like, I believe it does make you happy, but that doesn't mean you're not making fun of LeBron James.
And it's all, again, great players who have played in the NBA Finals 3 straight years. We've seen both teams, multiple players, take jabs at the other side.
Of course.
It's all good. The problem with the visual is that my teammate is over there laughing too. Like, who else in that picture? That's Kyrie? Oh, man. Like I said, your friends, your family, your mate, you can crack on them. You can talk about their warts all day, but you can't allow somebody else to do it. So when that's happening, then you truly know that Kyrie want to be out.
Of course. And also, there's somewhere in LeBron James's head that he knows when he's shirtless, wearing some tights, trying to act gangster, listening to some hardcore rap, wearing ballet tights, he knows he's opening himself up to be mocked. Like, he has to know that somewhere in his soul. But doesn't have to be...
Bobby Brown was like, he stole my look.
Now, Kobe Bryant posted a picture on Instagram. He was shirtless. He was hairless, and he captioned the picture, quote, "Objects on camera may appear larger than they do in the mirror. Ha, ha, ha. Okay. Give me 30 days. Hashtag challenge accepted. Hashtag Mamba thick. Hashtag Mamba beast." The image that you're looking at right now is a dramatization of the image. We could not clear the actual image because we had to pay money and we don't have a budget on this program. But Jalen, as someone who has, how do we say, expanded and retracted since his playing days, can you sympathize with Kobe Bryant and his dad bod?
I can sympathize, but here's what I want to say to everybody that got a nice chuckle. Here's a guy for 20 years as a professional athlete was actually paid to stay in shape. So for everybody that wants to tease, snicker, and criticize, when you get a chance, pull out a mirror and look at yourself. That's the
handsome.
one thing that I always felt was head scratching, that people who aren't in shape tease other people that aren't in shape.
That will never stop me.
Yeah,
that will never stop me. See, you're a professional athlete. I was not a professional athlete. No one ever paid me to stay in shape, and I still managed to keep it somewhat together. Another thing I want, just in Kobe Bryant's defense, is he's on vacation. You know what I mean? When we're all on vacation, we're not working out every day. I think he's in Positano or something, or Portofino, somewhere in Italy, drinking the red wine, eating the pastas. You know, he also didn't take a picture of himself. Like, he was photoed by paparazzi. I love and respect the fact that he had this funny caption and posted on his Instagram. However, I do not respect the fact that he immediately deleted it. Like, if you're going to self-own yourself and self-deprecate, you have to keep the picture up. Come on, Kobe.
I appreciate the post. Again, like I mentioned, he's retired. So you're going to go through a phase where your body gets a chance to just heal. I'm not waking up and pounding my body every single day when I'm not getting paid to be in the gym. He hanging with the wife. He hanging with the kids. And Cole, good looking on that reference to Italy. I had a great time. Appreciate that. And so with that being said, can he live? He posted it as a challenge. Clearly, it's on his page. He did the hashtag.
Well,
he didn't show any shame.
There was a part of your post-playing career where you weren't waking up and pounding your body every day, but it did look like you were waking up and pounding milkshakes every day. How do you explain the Fat Jalen era?
I don't need to explain it. Here's the thing people have to understand. There's 24 hours in a day.
Okay.
And during that period of time, guess what I was focusing on?
I have no idea.
My career. So the guys that you see in the gym spending 4 or 5 hours, and then on the golf course another 5 or 6 hours, I ain't had that time. And the other thing, I was lazy. I was eating good. I was embracing it. I wanted to have a beer belly. I wanted to be fat. The only problem is I'm skinny fat. So when I'm out of shape, I'm built like a kangaroo because my stomach and my butt stick out.
Yeah, so you have kangaroo. When I get fat, I call it the bulletproof vest. It looks like I'm always wearing a bulletproof vest. When we come back on Jalen and Jacoby, it's the Don't Get Fired topic of the day. I hope you enjoy it because it could be our last segment. That's next. Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN 2. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen Rose. Be careful, because it is time for the Don't Get Fired topic of the day.
Oh, no.
And now, the Don't Get Fired topic of the day.
Time
they
to
put us
talk
on
about
at 2 in the afternoon, and we're going to do a Don't Get Fired topic. You
time
guys
to talk
just don't know
about
any better.
medicinal. The NFL has written the NFL Players Association in hopes of working out with the union a way that they could study marijuana use as a pain management tool for players. Also on Bleacher Report, they've got a quote from retired offensive lineman Eben Britton saying, quote, "The guys who consume cannabis through their football careers are going to be in much better shape coming out of them than the guys who don't." My question for you is simply, would a relaxed marijuana policy really help solve the pain medication problem in the NFL?
Logically, I say yes, based on what they're taking as an alternative. The pills and the prescriptions that they're given, they have adverse effects to your body as well. And a lot of times you don't know the current effects, let alone the long-term effects of a lot of things that you're given by the team.
Well, I've done some research into the effects of medicinal on the human body, and one thing that these cite a lot is this cannabinoid, or like CBD it's called, and it's not really psychotropic, which means it doesn't get you high, and I don't think the NFL players are exactly out here picketing and fighting for the type of marijuana that doesn't get you high. Am I wrong in assuming that NFL players would like a relaxed marijuana policy because they want to get high?
I think it's important to try to get to a position where you're not addicted to the pills or the prescriptions that you're getting from teams. So therefore, what you just described so eloquently becomes the alternative. Now, if you could get high also, that's great.
That's kind of what I feel like is really happening here. But we'll just let it play out, and we'll just kind of hush about it and not get fired and move on. And when you said I described it eloquently, I think I said cannabinoids wrong. Anyway, cannabinoids is what I'm being told it is. Whatever. I didn't do that much research. Allen Iverson has apologized to Ice Cube. We have chronicled seemingly every day how he was absent from Dallas. Perhaps he was in Chicago at a casino. Who knows where he was? And we still don't know where he was, because here is his apology. Quote, "First and foremost, I apologize to Ice Cube and my Big Three family, my fans, and everyone disappointed by my absence in Dallas this past weekend. I've spoken with Ice Cube directly, finally, regarding the details of my absence. I will do my best to make up for this moving forward on the Big Three tour." Jalen, did he omit anything in his apology?
The thing I appreciate the most about the apology, he never said where he was going.
He had no excuse. There was no like, oh, I had this family emergency or I had to do this thing. It was just like, oh, my bad, I wasn't there. And I also love that he's like, I have spoken with Ice Cube directly. Like, Alan, it is Wednesday, and you're just releasing this statement about speaking with Ice Cube? I'm sure that he called you, 35 times in the last 3 days.
Here's what got me thinking.
Oh,
the unique thing about the Big Three is that you just mentioned their owner's name is O'Shea Jackson. We call him Ice Cube. So I'm just going to imagine if all of a sudden he wanted to go NWA gangster on AI for not showing up in Dallas.
I don't think he does.
Doughboy and Boys in the Hood.
I think that Ice Cube needs Allen Iverson more than Allen Iverson needs the Big Three. Just throwing that out there.
Hit the brakes.
Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there.
Hit the brakes.
I don't want to hit the brakes, but I will.
Allen Iverson probably has scored 6 points in 27 minutes. The story that you just said can't be accurate.
Allen Iverson, whether he's playing or not playing, puts behinds in the seats, especially for the Big Three. I predict the Big Three will add more and more bigger names. I think I'm bullish on the Big Three. I think that's right. I don't have any stocks. I'm bullish on the Big Three. Like, I think the Big Three will grow and be a real thing that entertains us all summer long for years to come. But right now, you need Allen Iverson. You do.
I was fortunate enough. Me and wifey went to the opening game in Brooklyn.
Oh.
Okay. And the stands were full. People were excited about the product. I had a really good time. LL Cool J was there. James Harden was there. Clearly, people were having an amazing time. And I didn't see Allen Iverson.
Next, we have this. There's a wax figure that has been released of Tom Brady. It looks nothing like Tom Brady. It makes me think that maybe the wax figure was based on that courtroom sketch during Deflategate. However, we have also looked at a wax figure of Beyonce that looks nothing like Beyonce recently. Jalen, which is worse, the Tom Brady or the Beyonce wax figure rendition?
The Beyonce. Because she represents perfection. You can't get that wrong.
Yeah, they got it so wrong. It looks like Shakira, I think. Like, I don't even know what it is.
Her race isn't correct.
Yeah, they got a lot wrong. At least Tom Brady looks like a white guy. You know what I mean? Like, it's as simple as that. Let's move on before we get fired for real. Eastern Carolina University did something so cool. They sent out their scholarships letters, and they printed them on a pirate scroll. I won't do a pirate joke, but I really want to. Eastern Carolina University did this. It was such a good project. I loved it so much. However, they spelled a word wrong. A very important word in a scholarship letter. Jalen Rose, this is a very safe space. I tried to spell this word correctly twice, and I was wrong twice. So I'm now going to put you on the spot. Are you ready? Eastern Carolina got this word wrong on their scholarship letter. Jalen Rose, can you spell scholarship?
Oh man,
I got it wrong twice. So you're in a safe space, man. I'm looking right at the camera saying I got this wrong with 2 tries.
SCH. I don't want to play this game no more.
All right, when we come back on Jalen and Jacoby, we're going to revisit the best story time with Jalen Rose we ever put together. That's next on Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN2. We are on the precipice of Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
Spell it. Spell that right now. We're not doing that on this show.
That's not fair.
We're not doing that on this show.
Spell every word that I say, Jalen.
You have to know. No.
P. R. Esophagus.
Okay. Now let's continue our regularly scheduled program.
Continue the program.
Okay, you're back.
Give people what they want.
Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app, we have the basketball tournament championship game from Baltimore. The winners get $2 million, and the losers go home with nothing. Tune in 7 p.m. on Thursday, ESPN, the basketball tournament championship game.
I watched a little bit of that last night.
I watched them too. Jalen Rose. We had the Storytime with Jalen Rose series, and we've been running back some of our favorites of those. The Storytime that we are about to play is not just your best story, it's our best animation. This is when we peaked. Like, you know when people talk about an athletic peak? We are past our peak as a project because this was our peak. You told myself and the Podfather, Bill Simmons, this story at an airport in Chicago while we were eating Garrett's popcorn. And I was like, Jalen, we did a whole series called Storytime with Jalen Rose, and you never told this story.
Because a couple of things in my life growing up, I never truly talked about for public consumption. I never talked about my relationship with my biological father, really until I got into the NBA. And I never really talked about this carjacking situation that I was fortunate enough to survive in the early 2000s. It wasn't like this happened 20 years ago. It's just something that I never truly talk about. It's not something that I think is cute or cool. I'm just fortunate that I'm still here.
Well, we now present Storytime with Jalen Rose, and I'm just so happy you are still here to tell this story.
I haven't told this story, okay, of when somebody tried to assassinate me and my good friend Riz. You're the only person I told this story to. I don't talk. I ain't proud of this story. September 2003, hanging with my good friend. His name is Riz. We at the apartment, Santa Monica, playing John Madden football, just chilling. Then it's about 12 a.m. We're like, you know what? Let's go make a couple of moves. Let's hit the streets for a minute. So we jump in the drop-top Bentley. Now, granted, this wasn't my car. My actual car that I was driving at the time was a souped-up Cadillac truck. And I was trying to put so many beats, so many televisions into it, it continued to have problems with wiring. They felt bad and gave me a loaner car. Hey, I'd ride a drop-top Bentley in LA, a little Detroit kid, why not? We go to the Sunset Room, champagne in the campaigner, letting it do what it do. Just so happened that's the night that the Los Angeles Sparks had also won the championship. I'm friends with Lisa Leslie. Go give her a hug, congratulations, celebrate with them. Jump in the car, trying to make sure everybody good. You good, Lisa? Your peeps good? How do you get to the 405? What's the fastest way? I'm like, I got a way. Just follow me right up Sunset. Y'all can jump right on, and boom, y'all on your way, I'm on my way. So we just riding, listening to the tunes, no big deal. Detroit kids, riding through Bel Air. We pull up on the light at Sunset in Barrington. And I glance to my right, I see a red Cadillac truck. And I see the dome light come on. And a dude gets out of the back passenger seat, scurries around the car, comes right up to the passenger side of the car, and pulls out a 9mm. And at first, like anybody else, I froze. I didn't know what to say, what to do. It wasn't my car. I didn't have no problems giving up the car. But for some reason, I saw smoke coming out of his nose and out of his ears. I felt like if he got what he wanted, maybe he still was gonna give us a couple of hot ones. And so as he began to speak, I felt that he, I guess, relaxed or put his guard down. At least that's what I thought. So I hit the gas. And he shot that car, I have the forensic pictures, 9 times. So I'm driving, scooting down, doing my best impression of somebody that's just trying to be a getaway driver. As we got past the 405, I see the car smoking. I'm like, I'm not hit. And I look over at Riz. He's bleeding crazy from the side of his face. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. So I wanted to give my good friend some comfort. I'm like, it's gonna be all right. I'm gonna get you to the hospital. He was like, I know, I got shot in my face, but it hurt in my neck. We didn't go from Detroit to Bel Air for this. This wasn't written in the Fresh Prince. So I reached down and I got my cell phone. It was on the floor. And I knew he was listening to the call. Of course, I'm freaking out, but I'm not the one that just got shot. So I don't want him to panic either. When they answer, I'm like, I'm on Sunset, passing a 405. My dog just got shot. Please tell me where the closest hospital is. I need to get to the emergency room immediately. I take the directions, hit a few lefts, hit a few rights. I look up, it's a veterinarian hospital. I'm like, I told her my dog got shot. And just by the grace, it seemed like the sky just opened up. I looked again, and it was a big, huge hospital. Went up at the hospital, car still smoking. We jump out, we put him on the gurney, rush him right into surgery. Riz still has that bullet lodged in his neck to this day. That's why he'll always be my dog.
Jalen Rose. I'm just shocked. I'm even hearing it now, even though we did that a while ago. I'm just still shocked. First of all, I need an update on Riz. Is Riz okay?
He's okay, and we 100.
Good. Second of all, I have some questions about Lisa Leslie's involvement. Is there a part of you that feels like Lisa Leslie set you up?
Absolutely not.
Are you sure?
Of course.
Was she still following you?
Yes, but it was multiple cars.
Was she driving a red Cadillac truck?
Absolutely not.
You don't think that Lisa Leslie is involved whatsoever?
No, you can't be saying this on television.
I know, I'm just joking. Of course I'm kidding. What do you and Lisa Leslie talk about this when you see her?
Well, when she sees me, it's like she saw a ghost. That's the first thing she said a couple of times when she saw me. It's like, you're still here.
It's crazy. Now, when the operator led you to a veterinarian hospital instead of a hospital, were you upset with her or him?
I wasn't upset. I was just ready to freak out and panic because I have my good friend in the front seat of a vehicle. He's bleeding everywhere. I'm rubbing his leg. I have blood all over my hand. It's just, he bleeding profusely. And man. Also the car's still smoking. Just think about it. This car got shot 9 times. Big shout to the vehicle.
Big shout to the vehicle. Bentley's very strong constitution on those Bentleys. Great ironwork, stopping bullets.
There's 2 things I probably should always have in life. I probably should have a dog because Wolf saved me from drowning in my Uncle Paramore's backyard. And I probably should always have a Bentley.
Is that Bentley? So here's the thing I always wondered about this story. That isn't even your car. Why don't you just get out of the car and run the car? Like, if someone came up to me with a pea shooter and was like, give me all your money, I'd be like, here it is, here's everything, here's my passcodes, here's my PIN number. I would run everything so fast.
And I think that's the point of the story. It wasn't my vehicle. I didn't have a problem giving up the vehicle, but I felt like if I'm going to get shot anyway, I might as well take a chance at getting away. And I'm not going to act like it was some great Houdini effort. There was literally a higher being there that made sure that we were able to walk away from that situation ultimately. That had nothing to do with my driving. It had nothing to do with the car. There was truly an angel making sure that we were able to live another day. So I'm really grateful for that.
Well, I am so happy that that angel was there that day that continues to keep you here on Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN2.
Wow, that's crazy.
When we come back, you and David Beckham have something in common. You both love to spoil very popular television shows. We'll explain after this. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Not everything in life is yes or no or black and white or binary. There's a lot of gray
still spinning from that last segment.
Area.
Wow.
There's a lot of gray area, and we explore that gray area in a segment called 0 to 100.
I love you, Riz.
Jalen Rose. Diana Rossini has the scoop. She is reporting, along with ESPN, that both John Harbaugh and general manager of the Ravens, Ozzie Newsome, support the signing of Colin Kaepernick. Yet, owner Steve Bisciotti is holding back the signing of Kaepernick. 0 to 100. What do you think the chances are that the Ravens eventually sign Colin Kaepernick? Thinking about it.
Did they actually do it?
Yes, sir. That's the question.
50.
50%. Oh, wow. That's low. What do you think this is about?
I think this is about his social stance, and people are addressing it almost like it's a criminal one, which it isn't. And I didn't appreciate, and I thought it was really lame, that the owner, for public consumption, was actually asking the fans for their feedback and their opinion.
Ridiculous. He didn't ask the fans about David Olson coming to camp.
But then he also said, pray for us. I just thought that was really weak.
I agree. Moving on. Here's what Paul Millsap Rocky had to say about his new team, the Denver Nuggets.
You know, and I think that, especially with the younger guys that we have now in Denver, the growth, you know, is unbelievable. You know, the sky is the limit. I think this team can be a lot better than that team. You know, that was a 60-win team. So,
how much do you think Millsap Rocky really believes that this Denver Nuggets team can be better than the 60-win Hawks team, 0 to 100?
12.
I think it might even be lower.
When you just got new bread and they bring you in, you have a press conference, you got to stick out your chest.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 60
That's
wins in the
I'm
Western
here.
Conference? 60 wins in the Western Conference? That's what you guys were missing. I know you didn't make the playoffs last year, but this year we're definitely going to win 60 games and challenge the Golden State Warriors championship, right?
And also, it's like 82-game schedule, 50 of those games are against Western Conference competition. Not gonna be able to do it.
Not even close. But I always respect the overconfidence that the offseason brings. I love it. You and David Beckham have a lot in common. You're not both just extremely handsome human beings.
Thank you.
But you also both spoil really popular Sunday evening television programs. You spoiled an episode of Power 2 weeks ago right here on this very show. And David Beckham spoiled part of Game of Thrones for his UK followers this Sunday. 0 to 100. How much are people oversensitive about spoilers?
100.
Like, just watch the show. Just watch the show. It's not going to ruin the experience because you know what happens.
The last time I checked, before albums come out, there are snippets.
Mm-hmm.
Before a movie comes out,
there's a trailer. Yeah, I know what happens at the end of Crying Game. It's all good. I'm still going to watch it.
So I don't understand the overreaction to it. I really don't.
Jalen Rose, can you explain the plot to the Crying Game?
Yeah, sure. Feelings really got hurt and just cry all day.
Exactly. Moving on. I know you have a policy. You do not like portrait tattoos on people of other living people. However, you might make an exception. Titans receiver Rashard Matthews got a tattoo of Barack and Michelle Obama on his leg. I know you don't like this sort of thing, but 0 to 100, how much do you support this tattoo of Barack and Michelle Obama?
As somebody that also has tattoos, I can't be the person that tells someone else what to get on their body.
Sure.
But as you mentioned, it's just always head scratching. The portrait thing of somebody that doesn't love you. And so I support it personally because you are basically asking me, is this something I would do? 5?
5 out of 100?
Yes.
I just don't like, if you look at the tattoo, he's got Michelle kind of popping out from behind Barry. And here's the thing, is that's not how that relationship works. They're shoulder to shoulder. That's a shoulder to shoulder relationship, okay? So as much as I support that tattoo, I would just do a little remix if it was going to go on my body. We have some news. Not too many free agents signing nowadays, but Ian Clark has agreed to a 1-year deal with the Pelicans. 0 to 100. How do you feel about his fit with the Pelicans?
Look at the Pelicans fly. I like his fit. I'll say 70.
Not bad, right? They need someone that can shoot. The one thing that the Pelicans lack is shooting. They got plenty of big men. They lack a little bit of shooting. I think Ian Clark could really help there. Also, 0 to 100. How much do you think he misses playing with the Warriors?
He got his ring. He got his opportunity. I ain't going to get a lot of minutes playing behind the Splash Brothers.
Really?
They just re-signed Livingston. I'm happy to bounce because now it's his time to start earning his keep in the league and show that he can be around for a really long time.
Oh, see, I would never want to leave a team like the Warriors. I'll take a pay cut. I'll take whatever. You don't even have to put me on the roster. You can give me a G League contract. I want that ring at the end of the year, and the Warriors have the best chance to get a ring.
Let me tell you a secret, and that's one of the biggest and most phony misconceptions that I hear fans say.
What's that?
Your team can go undefeated and win the championship. The roster's still going to have changes.
I know, but I would do whatever I can if I was Ian Clark to stay with the Warriors. That's all. That's all. Finally,
play for free?
We have a report that Kyrie Irving trade to the Suns is imminent. I don't really believe it. However, in a more macro sense, 0 to 100, how much are you tiring of this Kyrie Irving trade news?
I'm not tired of it because he's a terrific player. He said he wanted to be moved. He won a championship with a Cavs team that has been to the finals for 3 straight seasons. He's shown that he can be a dynamic offensive force. If you put him in the backcourt with Devin Booker, who had 70 points in the NBA game last year against a number 1 seeded Boston Celtics team, that's explosive.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would be interested to see, A, if he's moved, B, if he's able to land there.
So there's the Suns we've talked about, the Timberwolves we've talked about, the Knicks we've talked about, staying with the Cavs we've talked about, going to the Pelicans we've talked about, the Spurs we've talked about. It seems like we've linked Kyrie Irving with a large percentage of NBA teams. And me personally, I have a little bit of fatigue about these rumors. I just want this something to happen or something to not happen so we can kind of just stop talking about it every single day.
Something is happening.
Well, he's dancing with Steph Curry.
You just don't know about it. GMs are on the phone trying to make the move. And he doesn't have a no trade clause. So he's not necessarily in control of his own destiny for the next 2 seasons. So it's unlikely that we won't talk about it until it actually takes place, and rightfully so. He's a really talented player.
How much do you think the Cavs front office runs by potential Kyrie Irving trades, LeBron James?
I don't think they do as much as people realize. Here's what ends up happening in these dynamics. Your best player, it's one thing if he's an all-star. It's another thing if he's a superstar. It's something else if he's an icon. You got to make sure that you're building a roster around your best guy. And you know what you do? Put 14 guys around him that can supplement his weaknesses and make him get to his goals and make your organization get to their goals. So with that being said, they should keep him on the loop about what they're doing, but they're not going to ask him yes or no should they make a move. If that was the case, he would have never left for Miami. He would have felt like he could have built the team there. Did they change the owner since he left and came back?
No, they did not, sir.
Okay.
Coming up next on Jalen and Jacoby, something that we used to do in the radio show, we're bringing to the television show. It's Wednesday, so it's Women Crush Wednesday. All female calls and tweets. We're going to give the people what they want. The last U.S. women's national soccer team game was fantastic, a come-from-behind win against Brazil. And the next U.S. women's national soccer team Tournament of Nations matchup is this Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific on ESPN2 and the ESPN app. They will take on Japan, a team they've lost to only once in 34 all-time matchups. Jalen Rose, it's time to give the people what they want. Something we used to do on the radio show every Wednesday is celebrate the more responsible, more mature, more intelligent, and all-around superior gender of our species, the women, on Women Crush Wednesday. So we will do that once again today. We're going to open up our Twitter feed, go into our subreddit, and go into our voicemails. If you call 985-80-JALEN and leave us a voicemail, we'll play it on the show. And if you leave a voicemail and you are a female, we will play it on Women Crush Wednesday like this.
Hey, Jalen, this is Deborah calling from California. I was just wondering, why does Carmelo Anthony hold all the cards? If the Knicks try to trade him and he doesn't approve the trade, just sit him on the bench. He can watch the game from the bench. And I'm sure during the season, he'll change his mind. Peace.
Thank you for the call, Deborah. Appreciate the love.
I love her strategy.
I learned from the best. I saw it up close and personal so much I was a part of this pettiness. Larry Brown. And I saw how you can truly destroy a player's confidence and his numbers. This is what you do. You don't sit him on a bench and give him DMPs and allow him to collect his full check.
Why not?
And not put any miles on his knees. That's a win-win for a player. All you're doing is giving me time and energy, and the fans are looking at you like, I paid this ticket, and he's not playing.
So what do you do?
Here's what you do to spite him. You put him out there for 5 minutes.
Ooh.
And then you crush those numbers. That's why when players rest, they sit the whole game. You don't see guys like, I'm going to just play 20 minutes. They sit the whole game. They don't want to mess up their numbers. I'm not suggesting they do this, but I just want to answer Deborah's question. So you play him 5 minutes, he's not going to like that. And then you're going to try to put him in, he's not going to want to go in. That's insubordination. Then you can suspend him. And then therefore you don't have to pay him. So now as an organization, he's mad you don't have to pay him. The fans mad that he didn't want to go in the game. Hey, you getting paid. I don't care if they put you in there for 5 minutes. You need to get out there.
So you
that's
make them warm
the
up,
way to do it.
Make them warm up, make them prepare for the game, and then have them play a short amount of time, thus taking their career numbers and their season averages all the way down, and to the point where they don't want to play. And then when they don't want to play, you suspend them and they don't get paid. That is truly conniving and evil and petty, and I'm not surprised that you are all over that strategy. Learn from the best, as you said. Carmelo Anthony also said that he doesn't know what his future is with the Knicks. Okay, Carmelo, I understand that. He said that Phil Jackson getting fired was a business decision. And this is interesting. He said the last 12 months have been an emotional roller coaster for him. What do you make of all this?
I'm rooting for Carmelo because he has gone through a lot in that New York situation.
Mm-hmm.
He's reportedly separated from his wife, Lala. And also his team has not been winning.
No.
And so hopefully he lands in Houston where he wants to go. Don't sleep on OKC, Melo. Listen to me. Don't sleep on OKC, Melo.
Next, we have another female voicemail on Woman Crush Wednesday.
Hey, Jalen and Jacoby. It's Carolyn from Cincinnati. Just wondering if you think Chris Paul gets out of the second round before LeBron James wins a fourth ring. Thanks. Bye.
That is a very nice question.
I like
Chris Paul has never been to the conference finals. LeBron ain't getting the fourth ring while the Golden State Warriors looking like they looking. So I would have to say CP3 possibly can make it to the conference finals with Houston, depending on their matchups in the playoffs.
Yeah, depending on their seeding. If they end up at the 3rd seed and the Warriors are the top seed, they might not. But I do think that these Rockets will be in the conference finals. I just feel it. I think these Rockets can really challenge the Warriors, and part of me just kind of wants them to because the Warriors are so good. They need some competition. But I really appreciate the question, Caroline, and shout out to Cincinnati. Underrated city. Cincinnati, underrated, fun city out there. Shout out to everybody in Cincinnati.
The Natty.
We're going to now go to our Twitter feed. Don't forget to follow at Jalen and Jacoby. This is from a Laker fan, Laker lover for life. She wants to know, will the Lakers be the super team after 2018 free agency?
No.
She wants the Banana Boat Boys to come to Los Angeles. You know, LeBron's got his eye on the Lakers. Lonzo Ball is there. Come on, Chris Paul's a free agent. He almost got traded to the Lakers. Just help this Laker lover out, Jalen. Can they be a super team?
I'm going to have to go on my phone for this one. Rob Pelinka and Magic Johnson are going to turn around your Lakers. And I will not deal with any LeVar Ball slander. That's right. I said it.
Oh, I'll slander LeVar Ball, but we're going to have to do that tomorrow. When we come back, Jalen and Jacoby on tomorrow at 2 p.m. on ESPN2.